and seen on video.
Yeah, I watched it about a dozen times or so last night and again this morning. I'm just not comfortable with Patrick's behavior around the ball.
Patrick Reed lived every golfer's dream, at least on paper. He won the Masters, amassed millions in prize money, became a Ryder Cup hero, and yet somehow ended up being one of the most disliked figures in modern golf. Fans didn't just watch him stumble, they cheered when he did. How does a green jacket winner reach a point where the world seems to root against him? The answer isn't in one single mistake or misstep. It's in a pattern, a combination of family drama, college controversies, repeated rule disputes, and career decisions that eventually shifted Reed from divisive to infamous. This is the story of Patrick Reed, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Patrick Nathaniel Reed was born on August 5, 1990. In San Antonio, Texas, and grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His parents were supportive but firm, particularly his father, who pushed him hard from the earliest days of his golf career. From the beginning, Reed wasn't just talented. He was serious, driven, and competitive in a way that set him apart from his peers. Between 2005 and 2007, while attending University High School in Baton Rouge, Reed led his golf team to consecutive state championships. He earned recognition as a state medalist, became a Rolex AJ All-American, and even captured a major junior title at the Junior Open Championship in 2006. It wasn't just natural talent. It was a focused, relentless edge that made him a rising star. That same drive followed him into college, but it was here that the first complications of his public persona began to emerge. Reed started his collegiate career at the University of Georgia, arriving with the hype of a future superstar. On paper, he seemed like the perfect addition to a powerhouse program. Skilled, competitive, and hungry. But within a year, his trajectory hit turbulence. He was dismissed from the team, and rumors began to swirl. Details remained somewhat unclear, but according to Shane Ryan's reporting, some teammates accused him of breaking team rules and creating tension within the group. Allegations range from questionable behavior during qualifying rounds to other misconduct, though none of it was ever conclusively proven. Reed has consistently defended himself, stating that the dismissal wasn't about cheating or dishonesty, but about breaking alcohol-related rules that ultimately led to his exit. Regardless of specifics, this early controversy marked the first of many public battles that would define his career. Once your name is tied even loosely to notions of controversy, perception begins to shape public opinion, and Reed would feel that effect for years to come. After leaving Georgia, Reed transferred to Augusta State University, and here, in a twist few saw coming, he became the centerpiece of the program. He led the team to 2 national championships, proving that, no matter the whispers, his abilities on the course were undeniable. The shadow of Georgia lingered. Rumors about his conduct, though unproven, never fully disappeared. By the time he turned professional in 2011, Reed had not only talent, but also a growing reputation that would follow him relentlessly. The turbulence didn't stop with college. In his early 20s, Reed made the deeply personal choice to distance himself from his parents and sister. When he married his wife, Justine, his family wasn't invited to the wedding, a decision that immediately drew public attention. Tensions escalated further during the 2014 U.S. Open, when his parents and sister reportedly attempted to watch him play using a friend's tickets, only to be escorted off the grounds at the request of Justine. For outsiders, it was shocking. For Reed, it was part of drawing a line between his personal and professional life, a line the media would not leave unexamined. Despite family drama, Reed's career soared. He climbed the world rankings quickly, and in interviews he made bold statements, such as claiming he considered himself among the top 5 players in the world. At the time, he was ranked 44th. So many viewed this as arrogance. But Reed backed up his words, collecting PGA Tour wins and showing an ability to perform under pressure. Where he truly came alive, though, was in team competitions. Reed's Ryder Cup performances earned him the nickname Captain America. His energy, emotion, and fearless shot-making turned him into a standout in team golf, often thriving in situations where others faltered. Perhaps the most iconic moment came in 2016 during an electrifying Ryder Cup duel with Rory McIlroy. The pair traded incredible shots under immense pressure, with fist pumps and chest bumps punctuating each swing. Reed emerged victorious, cementing his status as one of Team USA's most dangerous players under pressure. Fans couldn't get enough of his intensity and raw competitive fire. Reed's career apex arrived in 2018 at the Masters, where he outlasted big names like Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth to claim the coveted green jacket. For a brief moment, all else faded: family controversies, old college rumors, and prior criticisms. It was just Patrick Reed standing at the top of the golf world. Yet the reprieve was short-lived. Later that year, during the Hero World Challenge, footage emerged showing Reed moving sand behind his ball not once, but twice. While Reed defended himself, claiming camera angles exaggerated the situation, analysts such as Brandel Chambly called it cheating. Fans erupted on social media. Though Reed was penalized only 2 strokes, the reputational damage was massive, and suddenly his Captain America image felt complicated. History seemed to repeat itself in 2021 during the Farmers Insurance Open. Reed claimed relief after his ball embedded in deep rough, marking it and taking a drop before a rules official arrived. Television footage later suggested the ball had bounced, which technically meant it was not embedded. Reed had technically followed the rules, but optics mattered, and fans reacted with fury. It wasn't just this incident alone. They connected it with past controversies, creating a cumulative impression of a player who always found himself in gray areas. In 2022, Reed's career entered another turbulent phase. He joined LIV Golf, the controversial new league, which alone made him a lightning rod for criticism from traditionalists. At the same time, he filed a $750 million defamation lawsuit against Golf Channel and several analysts, claiming it orchestrated a coordinated campaign to damage his reputation. Supporters viewed this as a courageous stand for fairness. Critics saw it as a desperate attempt to control a narrative already spiraling. The combination of joining LIV Golf and filing a high-profile lawsuit only cemented his polarizing status. By 2023, Patrick Reed's name had become bigger than his game, and not always for reasons he wanted. Every tournament carried tension. Fans and media scrutinized every move, waiting for another headline. Reed, however, seemed to thrive under pressure. He approached each event with a fire and intensity that had defined him since his youth. Whether he was sinking a clutch putt or engaging in playful on-course interactions, every gesture became fodder for discussion. An example came early in 2023 at the Dubai Desert Classic. After a tee shot veered into a cluster of palm trees, Reed claimed he spotted his ball in a specific tree and took a drop. Video replays suggested it might have landed elsewhere. While he had technically followed the rules, fans and commentators drew parallels to past controversies, and the narrative of Reed benefiting from gray areas seemed to repeat itself. Reed defended his actions, insisting everything was by the book, but for many, the pattern was unmistakable. Throughout all of this, Reed continued to perform on the course. He showed flashes of brilliance in majors, maintaining a level of play that reminded fans why he had once been feared inside the ropes. Even when performing at a high level, reactions were split. Some applauded his skill, while others remained critical, unwilling to overlook past controversies. Reed also began opening up in interviews, revealing how criticism affected him and emphasizing his love for the game despite the constant scrutiny. For a brief time, fans saw a different side of him, not just a fiery competitor, but a human being navigating fame, family tensions, and the pressures of professional golf. Even then, controversy never seemed far away. Small disagreements with fellow players or media figures kept his name trending. Reed had become a player whose intensity touched everything he did, both good and bad. By 2024, the narrative surrounding Reed was as complex as his career itself. Legal battles, media scrutiny, and on-course controversies had shaped his public persona. Supporters viewed him as unapologetically himself, while critics labeled him golf's villain. Yet, both agreed on one thing: he refused to fade quietly. Every swing, every quote, and every controversial ruling added layers to a career that refused to settle. Looking at the bigger picture, Patrick Reed's story is one of contrasts. He is a Masters champion, a Ryder Cup standout, and a 9-time PGA Tour winner. He has proven his skill, toughness, and clutch performance under immense pressure. On the other hand, he is a player whose career has been punctuated by controversies, bending rules, family drama, and public feuds with media figures. Some argue he is misunderstood, that he plays within the rules, but along the edge. Others insist that his approach undermines the sport's values of honesty and respect. Ultimately, Patrick Reed is a rare figure in modern sports, a player whose villain label feels earned not because of one mistake, but because of years of accumulated incidents, controversies, and choices. He embodies a tension between talent and perception, between success and scrutiny. Whether fans see him as a villain, a misunderstood competitor, or a combination of both, one thing is undeniable: Patrick Reed has left an indelible mark on golf. His story demonstrates that fame is rarely straightforward, that talent alone doesn't shield anyone from public opinion, and that a career can be defined as much by controversy as by victories. Patrick Reed's journey continues. Lawsuits, media battles, and controversies are now part of the narrative he has shaped for himself, just as much as any victory or headline moment. Even as he competes, his legacy is debated, for better or worse. Patrick Reed is a name that won't fade quietly from the sport he has both conquered and polarized. Every swing, every rule call, and every public moment continues to define a career unlike any other career, where the green jacket is only part of the story, and the firestorm of controversy writes the rest. By the end of 2024, the question remained: is Patrick Reed misunderstood, or is he unapologetically himself? Perhaps he is both. Either way, his story remains one of the most compelling, divisive, and talked about in modern sports, a reminder that in golf, as in life, talent, controversy, and public perception are inseparable.